everyone, this is your instructor Joy. Thank you for all your questions and nice comments and donations. A violinist, a subscriber, is wondering about vibrato. How does one achieve a good control in vibrato, speed and amplitude? Especially in going very high positions like the end of the G flat major, 3-octave scale. Where should we keep the thumb? And it is very difficult to keep it under the neck of your violin and achieve good intonation because the hand has to extend so much. I agree. And if we lose contact with the violin when shifting, then a lot of things may happen, like losing the support of the violin. We can so relate to that. We all experience that sooner or later. First, when it comes to vibrato, this violinist wondering how to keep intonation while vibrating, all these things. Of course, at the end, we want to achieve all that. Nice intonation, controlled vibrato, and while having nice sound, all this. But sometimes just working one thing at a time can be more effective than trying to do 3, 4, 5 things at once. If you can do it, good for you, but in my experience, it's tend to be much faster to achieve those techniques if we work one thing at a time. Let's say we're working on G string, G flat major scale, like that. So now this kind of vibrato can be quite hard. So let me first answer what to do with the thumb when we are high position. Of course, when we're going higher position, as you can see, my thumb has moved. So if I don't, my hand stays behind and my finger doesn't get any support. So it's important your thumb always accompany the rest of your hand. So in the first position, your thumb stays like this. But when you reach third position already, gradually, the thumb comes out like this. And eventually, the thumb gets like this. Some do on the side of the fingerboard. I find this one not very good because when you come down, you lose it's hard to keep the control. So even when you're very high, I like to keep my thumb somewhat closer to the neck so that way I can come back when I have to shift up and down. So basically, thumb get slightly off the neck and go around. That's the thumb position. Whether you're high position, whether you're on high string or lower string. Do you see? Can you see my thumb? Like that. Again, like this. Yeah. So that's one thing. When the vibrato is not as ideal as you all hoped for, then forget about intonation for now. And first thing is slow down with your vibrato. Often when I sing, so when I see people vibrating, when they lose control is because this violin is trying to vibrate too fast. Simply by slowing down, you will see the significant gain of the control. So let's say you're losing here, then slow down. Slow down the speed of the vibrato. Slow down the speed of vibrato and try to make it wider fluctuation of the wave. By doing that, you're exaggerating the movement to teach your left hand how to go. Like that. That often happens. Also check whether your thumb is relaxed enough. Sometimes the thumb should not have any function when it comes to vibrato, but sometimes we over push it and end up blocking our hand, so therefore you have no way to move. Your thumb is kind of blocking its movement. When this is the case, simply by moving your thumb off the neck, and then allows you vibrating a little more freely. When you're playing high position on G string, like this, like that, in order to first to be able to vibrate whatever the note is, you need to have a little room in front of you here. So if you're keeping your violin one way and then without moving your violin, and then you have to twist your arm quite a bit, and there isn't much room. When I take my violin off, this is how much my arm was twisted. It's already tense before I started vibrating. So simply moving your violin slightly to the left, you can see already there's much more room, and my left arm is no more twisted, or twisted a little, but not as tensely twisted. It's easier to control because my muscle is relaxed. You see that? So when you're vibrating high positions, simply by moving your violin to the left, allows your left arm to be more relaxed. Therefore, you're gonna have more relaxed vibrato. Now slowly. Like that. Yeah. What was the next? And sometimes it's hard to keep violin under the neck when vibrating. So when you are still mastering the vibrato but haven't perfected yet, then it is normal for us to have to hold violin overly firm, because because we're still learning how to control those muscles, shoulder and your left hand. It's like a baby when they start walking. You've seen that they overmove their arm and their legs, and just very overly done everything, because the muscle hasn't learned to work the most efficient way. So be a little patient. The muscle just needs time to build in to work more efficient way with a minimum of work. So until then, what you would do is take a little break in between. If you feel like you're holding too strongly your violin while vibrato, just take a little break and do it again, like that. Once your hand has a little stronger muscle, those muscle that you need for vibrato, you will be able to relax your neck muscle a little more, because you don't have to hold it as strongly. The reason why you feel like you have to hold the violin very strongly, and sometimes you feel like you're losing the violin, is because when we move our arm to vibrate, it's not just we move our arm, we tend to do this. We tend to hold it without wanting it, because we haven't learned to separate this for different muscles, so we're using a lot more muscle than necessary. Just like when the child, when they first start walking, they move too much muscle. Same idea, but just give a little break in between. Just get to the point again, focusing, just simple movement, and then you should be able to achieve that. Another reason that the vibrato is not as ideal as it could be you're focusing too much on having your left fingertip in a best sounding spot. I know this should be your goal at some point. The vibrato should sound nice. It is true. But when you're somewhat new to vibrato, forget about perfect sound. Forget about intonation, just for time being. Focus only on this simple vibrato movement, which is you keep your wrist straight, you're moving your lower arm away from you until your finger joint gets flattened, and bring it back when your finger gets bent again without any extra force. Just simple movement of this, yeah? And then your finger should stay nice and relaxed. So much so, almost it sounds like a whistle. This is still better than forcefully pushing the left fingertip down, because we don't want this whistle sound. Just bear a little with that sound, but rather try to focus on the relaxation of your left hand and try to move your left hand the way you want. So let's say only 2 vibrato, 1, 2, and then relax. 1, 2, and relax again. Yeah, like this. A couple step backwards will bring you many steps forward. Just be a little patient, and these couple steps, checking, don't worry about intonation or finger pressure. Just simply work on the simple movement and the relaxed movement of your vibrating arm until the finger joint gets flattened. This should be helping you some, and I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again. Bye.